Today, Precarious plays
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
What is...
I'm pretty sure that this is leftovers. Now, this is not me identifying it on my own, by my own merits.
Don't say anything because I have a guess.
What?
I can't remember. Pritchard? Is this one of Pritchard's weird objects that he had in his office? He had that arch-shaped thing. It was, like, made out of computers.
No. No, I'm pretty sure that I've read that it's leftovers from the, basically the final boss of the first game.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Now, that is just me taking the internet's word for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I might be misremembering that anyway, but I'm pretty sure that this is just Bursa's Life's, like, end of human revolution corner.
Yeah. You know, it's funny thinking about Jensen on Ice.
Yeah.
Like, needing... We're doing the same thing as Jensen's employers do, where, like, they just need another one to get through another mission in another game that has to play out.
Mm-hmm.
So they, like, strap them back together, or make a fresh one, or just assemble this creature so that they can keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably the most potentially disturbing element is that... okay. Am I gonna... That's fine. I've got the Icarus landing system.
Okay, I gotta throw up now. Real falls don't scare me as much as video game falls.
That makes sense. Oh, is it summoning it again? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to go away. I wanted to hide my tracks. Maybe I can send it away again.
Maybe. Is Adam of the myths? Adam wasn't born, was he? He was made?
What do you mean?
In the myths. Adam.
Oh, that Adam. The Christian Adam and not a Greek Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was, he was sculpted... I'm not sure what he was sculpted from, but he was made in God's image.
So he was, like, built.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the lore on how the Christian God made Adam, because Eve's story is more interesting to me.
And so you don't remember Adam is just like, yeah, some dude or whatever.
Yeah, because Eve...
Or fig leaves, whatever.
Eve allegedly was made out of one of Adam's ribs as a base. So that one's super easy to remember because it's got some flavor, right?
Oh, yeah, that's one I particularly don't like because whenever you get into an anatomy class, the instructor almost always has to do a big sigh and go, yes, everybody still has, both sexes have the same number of ribs. There's no physiological difference, skeletally speaking, in the rib cage.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just really funny to me as a person who didn't grow up with that to go like, what? Are we spending class time on this? But it's like, yes, no, we need to make that clear. Because there are some differences, like occasionally, like you'll have different pelvis shapes and stuff like that. But
number of ribs, not that one.
Not it. Yeah. Yeah, that's one myth that I remember having to dig up for myself. Because we talked about it in class, and, you know, I didn't want to be the jackass not knowing a piece of common knowledge, but when I finally looked it up, I'm like, this is a biblical reference? Did we just have to debunk some biblical junk in my anatomy class? And it happened more than once. you know?
Yeah.
Not in the same class, of course, but in different classes throughout the years. So yeah, although that is interesting to make something out of a rib. You know, the Norse myth is that there were 2 different kinds of wood.
Yeah.
And the first man and woman were carved out of these 2 sticks that washed up on the beach.
Oh.
And they were 2 different kinds of wood from 2 different kinds of trees, and they were both good at certain things.
Well, that's kind of nice.
I mean, you know,
Like,
it's preferable.
It's just different wood, isn't it?
It was
Sort of funny.
Ash and you, maybe? I can't remember. But like one of them is very strong. And
Oh, trying so hard to not make a dumb joke.
about wood.
No, about Ash and Pika-you is more like it.
All right, I see why you were avoiding saying it. I'm sorry that I pressed you.
So this just brings it out a little further. I don't have the Tarvos key card, which is a shame, but I could. Yeah, I can still use it to scale this. So see, this is what I'm talking about. There are different.
You can get other ones, I see.
Yeah, and maybe I should have prepared a little more thoroughly, but I saw the thing that I wanted to see.
Oh my god, that
It's
was
funny.
absolutely obvious. I thought that it was going to be something that I would have to go like, okay, why are we here?
Well, it's just people on the internet were like throwing flashbangs to brighten it up and increase the contrast, or were like breaking into the game's code to extract the model. Like,
no, bring up Adam Jensen on the screen. I know you can do it. Bring him up. That facial hair, nobody got that cut. Look at that. No. That pointy, no. Nobody else is walking around this game sporting the Adam Jensen facial hair. And much less the shoulders. Is this like some special edition? Do you think that they brightened it up or something? Maybe
it's a difference between playing on PC and playing on console, but I kind of doubt it. I think that it's just the image was just taken in a weird way. I don't know. But
Access granted.
I'm not sure what I want to.
Sometimes I have dreams of having more of me available. But like...
I did have one. I had the Taeyong medical card. Hey,
ooh,
now
it's
those
that
are
fencing
familiar.
Suit. Can we put it on?
No.
It's so cool.
Oh.
What is it?
It's
oh,
the nano blade that you can get. And well, you have, but you can unlock.
Mm-hmm. I see why you describe this as a pilgrimage. It's like, hey, this is where they made me. Not exactly, but it's like, look, these are the specs for my ribs. This is what we didn't do. Here's some spare parts for moi. It's my foot. It's like baby pictures. It's like, look, here's me in the bathtub. And this is when they put the blades in my arms.
Gotta quit that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't.
Well, look.
Be a different way. Be respectful. Jensen is probably dead.
Jensen?
But does it matter?
Does Jensen have a... I can't remember. From Human Revolution.
Yeah.
The mother figure. It was his mother-in-law, right? It wasn't his mom?
Trace program initiated.
Did we ever see his parents?
No, that's part of the mystery.
Yeah, I'm buying into this Adam
Access granted.
metaphor. Allegory. Is it an allegory?
It just references a story.
Yeah, I'm buying into this Adam allegory being the thing.
Well, here's my thought on the matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are like, What does it mean for the series? Oh, it's so interesting.
Oh, brother, it means whatever the writers decide that they want it to mean later.
I mean, that's also true, but my thinking is that it matters not at all.
Yeah.
It is not at all significant. It will only become significant if additional Adam Jensens show up to try to murder us.
Yeah.
That is when it will matter, is when it has a mechanical complication. Because... Hold on. Okay. Ah, the remains of Seraph Industries, yes. Oh... Wait. From William R. Taggart.
Wait. Who's Taggart?
I think he was, if I remember correctly, he was that douche nozzle that we could, like, debate on live TV in the first game. Was really, like, pro-human, anti-augment.
Yeah.
I think that was him. I have heard from Hugh, presumably Hugh Darrow. His work on the chip is basically finished. You should be getting the schematics and details soon. Production and distribution must begin immediately. Everything must be in place before the vote. With this, we will not only control the technology, but the people enhanced with the technology. Gross. Will you be attending the Panchaea event? I'm interested in seeing what's been done since the last time I visited. And knowing Darrow's penchant for the flamboyant, I'm sure his press conference will be spectacular. Cool. When activated, it will inhibit augmentation function to normal human levels. I liken it to a vehicle speed limiter. So that's how it started. It's interesting to note that the chip could also be used to boost augmentation performance. I'm not sure what side effects might result from this sort of overclocking. Okay, so this is basically just making clear some stuff that happened in Human Revolution. Damn, but I didn't know that Taggart was that involved.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so hold on, let me clear my thoughts again. By staring down the shaft. Ooh. If we are playing as a copy of Adam, that impacts me almost not at all. So I often think about games just like as a medium and what like the player's role is in a game. And increasingly, I view the player as like essentially a character's memory, or to be a little more fantastical, a little more whimsical about it, you are essentially your character's soul, right? You're the method of continuity, you know? So it's like, whenever I sit down to play Metroid, for example, I am the vehicle by which Samus goes from one mission to the next.
Knowing what happened before and thinking about what could come after. Yes,
and in... So you know how some people have posited that, like, teleportation, if we achieve teleportation, a nightmare scenario is that it would not really be... You would not be teleporting that awareness, that perspective, those molecules from one point to another. The sci-fi nightmare, which has been written about many times, I'm sure. There's a specific story I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the title. But the idea is that there's a disintegrator on one end of the so-called teleportation network. And then there is a molecular, basically a matter manipulator. There's a 3D, a really sophisticated 3D printer on the other side. So the short story I'm thinking of, there's a malfunction one day, and a person, they have a line of sight to the entry teleporter. They see themselves. They have successfully been teleported to their destination, but the entry teleporter failed to
disintegrate
the original. So for a brief few moments until it reactivates and destroys their previous self, there are two of this person in existence.
Yeah.
And the idea is that even on on a neural level, it is an exact duplicate. So it has all of the same memories and it has the same hormones, everything, right? Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, I would be pretty interested to meet basically a magically conjured copy of myself, because we would both recognize that we're going to be the same person until some outside force causes us to start experiencing things that are distinct from one another.
But isn't that just seeing each other? Doesn't that count? Don't you begin to diverge as people as soon as you start interacting with that consciousness in that place?
It depends on if the room was symmetrical or not. I've thought about this a lot. It depends if we're dressed differently. It depends on if we were given a different breakfast, right? But just imagine sort of like a Matrix scenario where it's just this white void with two chairs in it.
Yeah.
Right? So we would have presumably identical thoughts. No, see, this is how this is how we would resolve that situation. We would both think of the same trivial game with a luck element to play at the same time. And that's how we would resolve it. And then from that point on, we would increasingly be closer to twins than a clone of the same person.
Yeah.
Because we would start to diverge from one another. And obviously, because I'm thinking it now, my duplicate would think the same thing, at least for a while. You could probably be, because it's me, that copy could probably be relied to view things that way for years.
For a while, yeah, until life begins to act on a person, and then who knows, but...
Yeah, I mean, I because I recognize it, that person would also recognize that it's largely inconsequential from our collective perspective.
Yeah.
So...
But they killed a guy that was almost exactly like you.
Yeah, but... Hold on. So going back to the teleporter thing, this is turning into a mess. So going back to the teleporter thing, a copy of someone is only useful to other people, because unless you have a Star Trek style form of teleportation where there's some personhood, right? Mm-hmm. Some fundamental element that makes an individual that specific individual that is fluid, that can be transferred.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, I apologize for saying this so bluntly, but having clones of you would be very beneficial for me, because you could have been cloned today and it wouldn't matter to me. I mean, there would be this twinge of sadness where it's oh, I'm not talking to the same Audette I was talking to yesterday, but I wouldn't really have any way of confirming that because I don't have access to your unique perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's they're going to behave the exact same way if it's truly a proper clone. So what does it matter? So that's my point. My point is that for our purposes, all Adam Jensens are functionally interchangeable. The exception being if, like, this one has been, like, psychologically conditioned or has been augmented in a way to where, like, he could effectively be mind controlled or forced to do something that he doesn't agree with and we don't agree with as players. Basically, if there's a narrative reason why he would suddenly abruptly act out of character, right? Like, and I don't know, like if his AUG suddenly went haywire and he beat Alex to death, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't like that. And if that resulted, then that would be significant. But just the idea that we're playing as a functionally identical but technically different Adam doesn't mean much to me.
Yeah, but it is dehumanizing in the context of the story that the people you're working for would do that to you more than once.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically, Adam Jensen is commodity. But, and also it's sort of chilling to consider that if it is a different Adam, like if we are playing as a distinct Adam from the first one that has, like, let's imagine a worst case scenario. Let's say that there were two Adams in different areas of the world leading parallel lives. That means that the Adam we are playing as currently was probably plucked from that life, effectively mutilated, like completely needlessly, and just to match effectively his twin brother, our original Adam Jensen. It is pretty chilling to think that they might have just captured a guy, just captured an Adam living his life, and then chopped all of his bits off so he could match the template. Like, here, I think, so, see how Adam has a scar on his right cheek?
Yeah.
If this is a different Adam, a surgeon, like basically a plastic surgeon,
Put a scar.
Yeah, went through the trouble of recreating that scar. And I mean, that's the least of...
Yeah, that's the least of the situation, for sure.
But that's the level of detail that we're talking about. It's like, we need to recreate this exactly for our purposes. But I don't know. My ultimate point is that, from my perspective, I am Adam Jensen's consciousness. So if it turns out we're playing as a different Adam, I don't know. I don't feel like it's going to resonate with me. Because I'm just going to be like, but I mean, I thought I was Adam the whole time, and I have the memories of all of those things, and I mean, so does this Adam. And I guess they're all fake because it's a construct either way. It's a construct in reality, but it would also be a construct in the game. Maybe that's interesting. But I don't think it's shocking. I don't think it's like,
No.
whoa, everybody look at this theory. Look at this thing we found in a box deep underground.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time dwelling over it, but still.
I do feel bad.
I was surprised to see it.
Well, no, wait a second. I know what we can do. I wish we had a box of cereal, but this'll have to do. We can pour one out for our buddy. Bye, Adam. Probably.